are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Just a few moments ago, it was the Redskin defense being introduced, and the largest cheers went for their Pro Bowl cornerback, Josh Norman, as he and his guys get set to do battle with Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they enter play here. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. It'll be the #1 pick from back in 2005, leading him onto the field. Their 14-year veteran out of Utah, it's Alex Smith.
And despite another terrific season from Alex Smith in Kansas City, Kansas City knew from the moment Patrick Mahomes was drafted, this day was going to come sooner rather than later. Now he goes to Washington and replaces Kirk Cousins. Two different quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins a little more of the freewheeling sort. Alex Smith more deliberate, more controlled, but can still throw that dagger pass downfield.
The first carry for the rookie, it's Darius Geis. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Tyquan Lewis makes the stop.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing on third down, Smith. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. On first down, this is Geis. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Quincy Wilson in on the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Geis with a carry on second down. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. And give the tackle to Anthony Walker.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On third down, Smith. Throw left side complete. That's Richardson. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Redskins have taken a first quarter lead. Good great start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Play action. It's Locke. And his throw here's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Locke. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 25. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Jordan Reed, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead now stands at 13.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end.
12.
They go play action here on 1st down. Looking deep for Hilton. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. 2nd and 10, Luck again. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. 12. Luck throwing again. Over the middle, complete. It's Doyle. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll fake it. Now Love. Looking deep for Hilton. And it'll be intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
Now Smith. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And down he'll go at the 25. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Richardson. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Andrew Luck now, he gears up to lead this offense again. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the 2nd quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. Man open right side. It's Rodgers. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
This is caught. It's Ryan Brandt. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Luck now, 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early games in Week 2.
You think he questioned coming back for Week 2, having to work with us?
I think he did. He's just happy that he is far away in Orlando. Ebron with it over the middle. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And that one results in 35 yards.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston, then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now it's Luck. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another first down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Luck on the sneak. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the sneak, not what he was hoping for, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, partner, they went a little conservative, didn't they? And they ended up marking it short. And now I wonder, will they even do it again on 3rd down?
On 3rd down, it's Mack, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have come to half, and just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is.
And Luck will be intercepted for a third time. Picked off at the 38. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On second down, here's Smith. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll be a Redskin first down as Smith hits Crowder.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll hand it down to Geis. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On the run, it's Kelly. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back to throw, Smith. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Geis, they'll try to run it. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick. But when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that have first-round grades on them.
And you take a look at his draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Smith. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
And that was just situational football 101 right there. Excellent decision to throw that one away. You know he would have loved to have converted right there, keep the pressure on and build on this lead. But the best play, avoid the sack, taking care of the football.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field. But they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
To throw on second down is Locke. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get.
And now here's another interception. Picked off around the 41. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick six for a Redskins touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Jamal Sheard on the stop.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns. Back now at FedEx Field, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll run it now out of the gun. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Big Al Woods there to make the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On third down, Kelly. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Look, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the 50, it's Luck. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Luck now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
You're 70. 540. Easy. Alert. Kill.
Out of the gun. Luck. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
12.
On 2nd and 10, Luck. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Mike by four. Go ahead. 12. Gun.
Here's Luck now on 2nd down. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And held running right through it. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. On the handoff, it's Geis. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And the Colts getting ready to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row.
Personal foul.
That were blowouts.
Face mask.
And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. We you know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Officially, no gain on the play, and it's second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there.